Jennifer Noble, my son, Jennifer Noble.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, volunteers, and honored guests. It is my honor today to get to talk to you about my son. My son is remarkable. He is clever and courageous and incredibly empathetic. And he is so talented at art. If I could show you all of his drawings right now, you would be amazed. I'm so proud of him. He isn't just growing every day, he's flourishing. And in doing so, he helps me grow too. But my son, he was also born with what we call a birth defect. At his first ultrasound, we discovered something unexpected about our son. But at the time, we didn't fully grasp its significance. The technician, she shared the news with a note of excitement, and we received congratulations from everyone around us, not understanding at the time how this aspect of his identity would one day go on to cause so much rejection from those very same people. It wasn't until he bravely shared his truth with us at the age of 9 that we began to understand the journey ahead of us. Because see, my son was born with a vagina. Yeah, that's a little uncomfortable to hear, isn't it? That my son has a vagina. But that's weird, because when he was still in my stomach, that seemed to be all anyone ever asked about. I mean, sure, it came out different. It sounded more like, oh, are you having a boy or a girl? But we all know what they were asking. Do you think it'll have a penis or a vagina? Because if they were really asking if it was a boy or a girl, we could have honestly answered, I don't know yet. But 13 years ago, the possibility of having a transgendered child seemed almost unheard of. We are among the less than 1% of parents who get to embark on this unique journey with their child. And we consider ourselves fortunate to have recognized and embraced our son's truth so early. It's a privilege not afforded to everyone. And in fact, most people in similar circumstances, they feel afraid to share their authentic selves, and sometimes for their entire lives. But we always knew our child would have the freedom to grow and be whoever they wanted to be. And yeah, that includes expressing their true gender identity. So when someone asked us why on earth we would even consider gender-affirming surgeries for our son, I was shocked. Both a personal and odd question. Because my immediate thought process was, what wouldn't a mother do to ensure the happiness and safety of her child? You guys, the stark reality is that 86% of trans youth are contemplating suicide. And 40% actually attempt it. 40%. If any other birth defect out there had a mortality rate where 4 out of every 10 children are not making it past the age of 18, society would be up in arms about this, demanding action and support. But that's not happening, is it? Instead, what do we get? Backlash. Legislative barriers further endangering those who need it most. And yet, in spite of all of this opposition, we have actually managed to find an incredibly effective medicine that we use with our son daily. It's called acceptance. This simple yet powerful remedy has the potential to drastically improve the lives of anyone inflicted with this defect. And if there was a conventional medicine out there that have the capacity to save 40% of our children, you better believe we would spare no expense in making this universally available. So why should acceptance be any different? And how do we get there? How do we get to a place where being accepted and celebrated for who you are is celebrated? Well, we move towards opening doors and breaking down walls. We keep fighting, keep pushing for our schools to be places for our children to be safe and seen for who they are. We talk to them. We listen. We try to understand. Most importantly, we believe them. We learn that being uncomfortable is needed because, yes, talking about my son being born with a vagina is difficult and uncomfortable. But maybe it's time for that. Maybe it's time to get a little uncomfortable, to ask ourselves why, and to use that as a catalyst for change. Because in the end, it's pretty simple. Acceptance saves lives. It's something we can all give, and it doesn't cost a thing. Don't wait for the person next to you to be the one to make the first move. Be the change you want to see. Not just for my son, but for all of your children. And for the kind of world we want to live in. One where each and every one of us is accepted for who you are, no matter what. Thank you.